Oh man, this is gonna be fun. What's up, guys? So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Raheel Siddiqui, and this is officially the launch of my new podcast. And the title is called Wallbreaker 200. And I'm so excited to finally do this. I know it's been a long time coming right now, and got the mic here, got the Knicks gear on, go Knicks, and super excited, super thrilled, and can't wait to share, my journey, my experience. I've been working on this for some time now, and finally had the courage and the confidence, and to launch it. And a special shout out to a special friend of mine to help get this off the ground, and really excited to be here. So, I just wanted to first start off by saying thank you for tuning in and listening. I really hope to connect with all of you guys, give you guys some insight, give you guys some value, give you guys some input, and kind of go from there. I guess first off, I will just kick it off. So again, my name is Raheel Siddiqui, and I'm a motivational speaker to some sorts. You can follow me on Instagram, Raheel the Speaker, and I have Facebook as well, and Twitter. I don't use Twitter as much, man. I got to get on there. Raheel the Second, and then on my Snapchat as well, Raheel the Second. But I've done, a lot of talks on stage, and I don't know why, man. This is like more nervous for some reason, but I was able to do NBC News in the past, Fox News on World Obesity Day. I've done shows in Vegas, motivational speaking conferences in Vegas, Health 2.0 conference, obesity awareness conferences in Boston, and multiple cities across the country. And the most sacred talk or speech that I've given is my TEDx talk, and you can Google it on YouTube. Raheel Siddiqui TEDx DSHS. I did that at Dover Sherborne High School in Boston, Massachusetts, last May of 2023. It was a phenomenal experience. So definitely, if you got some time, take a look at it. Let me know your thoughts. Just talks about my journey, my background, my experience, and going from there. But I guess let me just kick things off by saying, again, welcome to my new podcast. I definitely can't wait to keep on growing. And again, sorry for the nervousness. This is my first episode, man. Just trying to keep it raw, authentic, and real, and really hope to connect with the viewers. But and the reason why I am doing this podcast is to kind of kick off the intro episode here is, I recently lost almost 197 pounds. When I started, I'm a big advocate for weight loss and fitness and health, and, mental health as well. But when I started this journey, I basically was obese my entire life, and that's how I got into motivational speaking last year and prior, and motivational coaching, life coaching, because I try to help people. My story, I try to tell people my story to be an inspiration to others out there, that the average guy can do it, or the average girl can do it. And, there's going to be a lot of ups, there's going to be a lot of downs, but hence the title, Wallbreaker 200. There's going to be a lot of walls that are going to be standing in your way, and it's up to you and you alone. Either you're going to run away from those walls, or you're going to run right through them. So I feel as though this is going to be one of those special type of podcasts where I can really try to connect with all of you guys that follow me, that know me, and that don't know me. Hopefully this can, reach to all of you, and, maybe I can have an impact for you guys as well, for your journeys as well. And, when I call, my podcast, the Wallbreaker 200, it's not just because of health, fitness, and weight loss, and mental, physical health. Yes, that is my niche, and that's exactly what I love to do, love to talk about, love to discuss, love to help people on. But I also want people to understand that you have walls in your life every single day, and that's just a part of life, man. And if you want to get to wherever you want to go, you're going to have to break down those walls, plain and simple. But, to kick off my introduction episode, where do I begin? So, I was born in Long Island, New York, and I was pretty much born obese my entire life, right? And I know some of you are probably thinking, oh man, here's the story again. But, I got to kick it off for those who don't know my story. And hopefully, even if you have heard this story before, I really hope that it resonates with you. Maybe it'll help empower you. It'll help push you. It'll help guide you to get to wherever you want to go in your journeys, in your own path of, health, fitness, mental health, awareness, and any other just goals or dreams or whatever you're trying to chase. But either way, I was born in New York, hence the Knicks gear, Long Island, and in 1982, and 41 years old right now. I got a beautiful wife, and I got a 4.5-year-old son, and things are going really great. But to kind of talk about my new show here and my podcast, I was born in New York, Long Island, and I was a diehard Knicks fan, diehard Jets fan, diehard sports fan. But, the one problem that I always had my entire life was that I was born overweight. I had an obesity problem. I literally was a heavy kid coming out of the womb, and then I had weight problems my entire life up until I was 27 years old. And this is from adolescence to grade school, middle school, high school, college, and the weight just kept piling on. And I guess this day is very sacred for me because, and you're going to see why on July 18th. This is a very sacred day, so I felt like this day was the right day to go ahead and launch this podcast, my first episode. Fast forward to July 18th, and I'll get to the date specifically in a second. But currently, where was I at? Sorry, again, this is my first episode, so guys, forgive me. But yeah, no, I was 27 years old. I was 405 pounds, and my father, who was like near and dear to my heart, always has been, always will be. He was a pharmacist, and he was a big believer in health and taking care of your body and your mind. So one Saturday morning, he came downstairs and looked at me, and he just saw me, really bad, really wide, and really ballooned up, and he looked at me and was like, "Man, we gotta get you checked out. We have to go to the doctor because I'm getting really worried about you. I've been in your ear for a while now to take care of your health." And, typical teenager, typical mid-20s kid, just didn't care, just wanted to just, live life, be free. I thought what most typical youngsters think, right? You could just do whatever you want and you're immortal. You feel like you're immortal. You never get tired. You can eat junk food all day. You can do whatever you want and you're invincible. But, Father Time is undefeated, and time is one thing that we don't have that we do take granted of. So either way, my father was like, we have to go see the doctor. So, get my blood work done, go see the doctor. And of course, I'm notoriously known for this story. If you know me, I know you know. But again, this is for my, my viewers who probably don't know the story, so please stick with me here. But went to go to see the doctor a few days later to go over my results, and the doctor walked in, gave a quick head nod, had a folder with my results, looked at my father and I, opened the folder, looked at the results, flipped through the pages, took the folder, threw it on the counter, looked right at my father and I, and says, "It doesn't matter what these results say, your son will be dead by the time he's 40 anyways." So, and that was it. And yeah, dude, horrible bedside manner, I know, trust me, horrible. But for whatever reason, that story always sticks with me. So my father and the doctor went off to the side for a few minutes. They had a quick conversation, and then we left. I mean, super fast doctor's visit. I had no clue. I didn't know any of my scores, my blood pressure, sugar, cholesterol, hemoglobin, nothing. Just cold turkey, just rolled out. So my father and I are driving. We leave the doctor's office, and all of a sudden my father was like, "Hey, I need you to pull the car over. And I'm thinking, what's wrong? He's like, "I need you to pull the car over right now." I said, "Okay, sure." So I pull the car over, and he looks right at me, and he says, "Listen, I need you to take this seriously. I need you to make me a promise." And in my mind, I'm still thinking, okay, man, there's cars driving by. We're in the middle of a highway. I'm stopped on the shoulder. And I was like, Dad, what are you talking about? And he's like, no. And my father was battling a lot of health issues at that time himself. But in that moment, I've been yelled at him so many times. I've been lectured by him so many times. But I just looked into his eyes, and I saw his eyes just watering. And he was like, "No, listen, I need you to promise me you're going to take care of your health. I need you to promise me, because I don't have much time. I won't be here much longer. I won't be here to see you get married. I won't be here to see you have a family. I won't be here for any of that. So I need you to take care of your health, to get back on track so you can live your life, to have that opportunity to, have a family someday, have a life someday, just, live life, man, like get healthy so I can live life. And, summarizing here, but the crux of the story was, what really, hit me hard was when he told me he was not going to be there to see me get married and to see me have a family. I think that really hit me hard. And I just saw, again, the pain in his eyes, the water in his eyes. It ran really deep. And I was like, I was kind of stunned. I was kind of quiet. I was kind of shocked. And I said, okay. And then he said it again, but then he said, we're not leaving this road, shoulder, whatever, wherever we're parked. He's like, we're not going home basically until, you make this promise to me. So I said, okay, you know what? I promise. And this was back in January 2010. Okay. I was 405 pounds, absolute heaviest that I was. And, I was like, okay, I promise. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I said, okay, I promise you. So we drove off. And, if there's anything you know about me, I'm, again, notoriously known for this. I used to be the biggest quitter. All I would do was quit. I'd quit, try and fail over and over and over and over again. I tell people now, rock bottom is an endless destination, man. It doesn't matter how many times you fall. You got to find a way to get back up. So, I get home and then I start, to get at it. I would go to the local field down the street from my house. I'd go to my local college, try to go around the track. I kept trying and failing. So then a few months go by. We're in April 2010 now. And then, one of my closest friends, he discovered a gym, right by our area. And he was like, hey, man, like, listen, all of us are going to be joining this gym. Why don't you join? I think it'll be fun. We can all hang out together, play basketball together, kick it. It's a really state-of-the-art facility. So why don't you come take a look, see for yourself and join. So at first I was like, okay, but I really wasn't into it. But then I was like, okay, this could be the sign that I need. I need a jump start, and that's okay. In life, sometimes, man, we all need help. We all need doors to open. We need a jump start, and we kind of got to go through the process. So I said, okay. So I remember when I signed up, for the gym, that was in April, and I saw like a little billboard, and it said, team weight loss class will be starting in May. And it's a class for people who were just like me, who were overweight, out of shape, who needed a jump start on their health and fitness journeys. And it was 3 days a week, and you could take it for as long as you want. I think at that time, it was like 3 months, like 3 days a week. So I was like, okay, I'll start up. And that class was tough. It was really tough. But the one thing I will say was day one, and this was a really tough day. I remember my trainer, she took everybody on the first day. And what you had to do was everybody in that class, you had to go up on the big scale and you had to announce your weight in front of everybody. And I'll never forget this, man. I went right to her and I said, hey, please don't make me do this. Like, I know what number is going to come and I don't want to share that with anybody. And she was like, Raheel, the hardest step in life is taking the first step. And she was like, I promise you, no matter how much you're going to be upset or hurt or cry or mad at me, I promise you, once you go through this process and once you get to the other side of this wall that you're currently in right now, she was like, you're going to love telling this story to everybody because, it's going to feel amazing. I'm promise you right now, it doesn't seem like it now, but when it's over, when you get to the other side of this journey, it's going to feel amazing to tell this story. And man, I couldn't tell you, that was 14 years ago, and I couldn't tell you she couldn't be more right. So either way, long story short, I was the last one to go. I go up on the scale. I say, my name is Raheel Siddiqui, and I weigh 405 pounds. And everybody just looks in complete shock. I'm shocked. I have tears flowing through my eyes. Just absolutely devastated. And just the heartbreak, right? I felt like people felt sorry for me. They were like, man, look at this guy. Like, nothing mean at all. Everybody was amazing, but just, you could see, I felt like it was like more like pity for me, right? Like, oh my God, like people are just feeling like pity for this guy, like what's going on, etc. So I went home crying, went down the stairs, went to my car, drove home crying, went to the bed crying. And I did what I wanted to do, what I always do. I wanted to quit. I was like, I want to quit. But then, I had that little voice in my head that said, you know what, man, I gotta do this because my dad, I made a promise to him, man. And, and I have to. And like the way that he was like breaking down to me in the car that day, I needed to make this promise and stick with it. So you know what, man, I went went right back. I went and did it. 2 days later, it was the next class. I showed up and I went to work, man, and it was hard. It was really hard, but that's the beauty of it. You're never going to get anywhere in life, in any journey, without working hard. I mean, you have to work harder than you've ever thought you could work before. Quoting Ben Affleck, he said it at some award show, which is true. So I remember, I did class for 3 days, and they do weekly weigh-ins. So I did the whole 3 days that first week, and I remember getting on the scale, and I had lost about a few pounds. And I was like, okay, you know what? That's not bad. And I was like, I just did this class, I think I was 5 pounds to be exact. And then, I told myself, I was like, okay, man, I just did team weight loss class 1 hour a day, 3 days a week. I was like, you know what if I just come every single day? Team weight loss class, and just come every single day, just walk on the treadmill, get some activity, get some blood flow. Let's see what happens. And I remember I went the next week, 7 days a week. It was for weekly weigh-in. And I'll never forget this. The trainer looked at me. I looked at him. He looked at me back. And then I'm like, okay, bro, is it good or bad? Because the suspense is killing me. And he was like, bro, you lost almost 20 pounds this week. Almost 20. I think it was 17 or 18 pounds to be exact. And I was like, wow. And I was like, you know what, man, for the first time in my life where I actually dedicated myself, I actually was like, you know what, I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to fold. I'm not going to fall and not try to get back up. That was the first time I really dedicated myself to this story, to this journey of mine, this goal of mine, just to anything, man, because I quit my entire life so much. I was like, you know what, I can do this. So, and that just lit the fire in me, man. I literally, it was like a match, with a bunch of gasoline around it, and just and I just exploded after that. And then from May 2010 to May 2011, I lost my first 150 pounds, and it was awesome. It was the best feeling ever. I mean, brand new wardrobe, wearing fitter clothes, talking with more confidence to friends, to family members, to girls, just in general, man. I was feeling great. I was feeling unstoppable, on top of the world. And, I felt like nothing can stop me now. And I was rolling. So, we went into May. I was down 150, no more team weight loss class. And I was like, okay, so the next goal will to be just to try to add muscle, tone the body, because I think that's another important piece of advice in your journeys is always set goals, right? And I feel like that's one thing that you should try to tell yourself in any aspect in life, fitness, health, in life. If you hit a goal, set another one, keep setting goals, right? Because otherwise, how are you going to stay motivated, right? You hit a goal, great, what's next? So I feel like you should always find a challenge. And I think that's why I'm a big sports guy. I'm a huge, Kobe guy. I'm a huge, I'm a 90s Knicks guy, fight and grit and toughness. So I feel like if you could tell yourself to set goals when you hit whatever goal you're chasing, I promise you it'll carry you a long way. So either way, we get there. That was May 2010, and I'm still rolling. Then we get to July, and I remember we were going to my cousin's wedding in Connecticut, and I remember, my father was going through a lot. His body was really breaking down at this point, and water would retent all over his body. He'd have to go get drained every few days. I was taking him consistently, and it was tough. And I remember the doctor saying, yeah, he can go, 7-hour car ride, he can go, just monitor him, take him for the weekend, take it easy, and then, bring him back, and then, we'll reevaluate. So we said, okay, cool. So we took him to the wedding, and, we thought, everything was okay. Everything was okay. The first day was the wedding. Second day was a reception. And, he was actually pretty sick that day. I remember my family was deciding what to do. And then my father was really stubborn. It was his nephew's wedding. So he was like, no, he was like, look, you guys just go. I'll just stay in my room. You guys attend the reception, and then, we'll just go home either late night tonight or tomorrow morning, but go, it's my brother's son, just go. So we were like, okay, cool. And I was pretty much, it's crazy. So I remember this like it was yesterday. So I remember going upstairs, to get ready, got my suit out. And I remember in that very moment, I had a tag on my suit. So I was like, let me call my mom to see if there's any scissors, because I need scissors to cut my tag. And it's crazy. I call my mom, and all of a sudden she's screaming, come downstairs, come downstairs, come downstairs. And I go downstairs, I go running. One of my cousins coming, he was a doctor, so he came in, and then my brother came in, and my sister-in-law came in and other relatives, family members, etc. And my father was like just like laid out, pretty much almost unconscious. And then, I was holding him. My brother was trying to give him CPR. My mom was there, so all of us were kind of holding him. And we tried to revive him, but his body just ended up giving out. And then, right in front of me, I mean, he just pretty much like passed out, right in our hands, and he ended up dying that night, later on that night after midnight. And that date was July 18th. 18 months prior, he told me to take care of myself, and he wasn't going to be there for my wedding and to see my son. And he called it, and it happened. And I still can't believe it. It still hurts every day. I feel like a lot of our family, or I'll say our entire family, all of it died that night when he died. We were never the same, and we're never going to be the same, and it sucks, because if you see my son, he's the most beautiful thing you'll ever see in your life, and the fact that he never got to meet him or any of his grandkids, it hurts, and it sucks. I put an Instagram post up today, telling him 14 years ago, you asked me to make you a promise, and I gave you my heart, and I did. And I just want everyone to know out there, man, like, life is so short. You just never know what's going to happen. You don't know what obstacles are going to be in your way, what challenges you're going to face, what walls are going to be in front of you. But you can't live your life in fear. You can't be scared. You have to take initiative. You have to have something inside of your gut, inside of your soul that says, you know what, man, I can do this, and I'm going to find a way to break that wall down. I mean, my whole life I have had nothing but walls. I was bullied like crazy, man. You have no idea. I was bullied so bad. I would have people call me every fat white celebrity under the sun that you can name. I was, told, oh man, like, look at how big your tits are. Where's your bra at? I was told that, I was loud. I was told I was ugly. I was told I wasn't, as good looking as like my siblings who are tall and thin and, brown hair and good looking. And, I don't have swag like my boys because they're pulling all the girls. Sometimes I would have to sit in my car and just eat by myself before I would go to a party, because I didn't want anyone to make any comments to me about what is he eating or why isn't he eating. And I would just tell everybody I'm good, because the second I'd put a little bit of plate on my food, all of them would just come running after me, and here come the fat jokes one after another, so I feel like, man, and those were the darkest days of my life. So going back to my father, the fact that he took that initiative, I don't know what he saw in me, and I don't know why he made me pull the car over that day. But, to my dad, I want to let you know, I kept my promise. I kept it. And I'm like, I have such a fire in my heart, in my soul. Every day I get up and I train. I get up at 5:30 every morning and I train 6 to 8, and it's the greatest feeling. My son is 4.5 years old, and he loves it, and he loves it. He loves how daddy's working so hard on the treadmill, lifting those weights. And it's not just about the fitness, man. It's just the discipline. Like, he loves it, and he's feeding off of it, and I love it. We're watching videos together. We're watching clips together. We're watching training videos, Rocky Balboa, Steph Curry documentary, Creed, my favorite athlete of all time, Khabib Nurmagomedov, when he just kicked the living shit out of Conor McGregor for talking all of that smack. That fight was so sentimental because that was the ultimate bully versus the ultimate hero. Khabib in that moment showed the world that, the little guy can come on top, and also, just don't test somebody. Don't push somebody against the wall. Don't push somebody against the corner. Because, you never know what that person can be, right? And I guess, I just want to tell everybody out there, if you followed me and you known me, I love to live life. I love to have fun. I love to have fun with my friends, my family. I wasn't always a victim. I feel like I also started a lot too. I was very loud. I was very boisterous. I also learned how to be accountable. And I guess when I mean that by the ultimate statement about being accountable is, I was getting picked on. I was getting bullied. I was getting made fun of. I was having sleep apnea. I was having eating disorders. I was having depression. But because that was all on me, and that was all my fault. And I had to be the one to change it. I had this wall in front of me and I had to go break it down. And as we record more episodes, I'll go over everything, that I've been through. Because believe me, it's not like I just snapped my fingers and I am where I am now. I went from losing 150 to, gaining and then losing and gaining. And like I said, it's been, up and down process, falling and coming back up, falling and coming back up, falling and coming back up. Rock bottom is an endless destination, man, every single day. And it's up to you and you alone. You have to decide if you're going to get back up or not. You control your destiny. I knew in that moment when my dad pulled me over on the side of the road that day that, it's like he saw something. It's like he saw the guy that he saw now, not the guy, 14 years ago that he was talking to, if that makes sense. I always sense that he's felt something more in me. And I get a lot of love and I get a lot of respect from everybody. And it means the world to me. And I can't thank you guys enough, for all of your love and all of your support and all of your compliments, for all of it, But, my goal here is that I want to tell everybody that, I was telling my wife too that, I want people to understand that I feel like my story is like a gift to share to everybody. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not a famous person. I'm not somebody who's like in movies or on TV, or I didn't have any like special surgeries, or I didn't take any special medications, man. I just, I had a will. I had like an iron grit. I had a fire. And most importantly, I made a promise. And ever since that day, when my dad pulled me over and he died in my arms 18 months later, I swear to you, that promise never left me, and it never will. So today being July 18th, 2024, I just want to tell my dad one more time, I love you and I miss you. And, I just want to say I'm sorry if I ever caused you any pain, any heartache. I feel like I put a lot of stress on you because you were so worried about me. And, I feel like I did that. I'm sure you had a lot of other stress, our family, whatever we were going through, whatever he was going through. He was battling health complications, but I'm sorry, I'm trying to get better. I always ask myself every day, I ask my wife every day, I don't know if I'm a good dad, but I'm trying. I've learned a lot. I've learned how to forgive those people who bullied me. I've learned how to ask for forgiveness as well too. I think that's very important. And I think, to kind of wrap up episode 1 is, just always understand, man. I think the best advice I can give any of you is, it's going to sound cliche, but it's true. Any wall can truly be broken. It's up to you and you alone. I never in my wildest dreams thought when I was 405 pounds, I'd be down 197, closing in on 200 pounds, So, and like I said, as we get into recording more episodes, hopefully soon you'll hear more about my story dragged out. But I wanted to kind of kick off this episode 1 here for like a quick introduction and a shout out to my father, who I miss every single day. Please say a prayer for him. Like I said, he means the world to me. He always will. And I will always have his heart in my heart, and I'll never forget him. And thank you to my dad for, setting me up. And, the doctor told me I would be dead at 40, and I'm 41, closing in on 42. I'm in the best shape of my life. I did get married and fall in love. I did have a family, and, I'm trying to grow and get better, and trying to learn from my mistakes and try to continuously get better every single day. And I'm hoping that my story ultimately can help everybody else out there. And so, thank you guys so much. I really hope this episode 1 was a good episode. Hopefully it wasn't too boring. I hope you guys get good value out of it, good content out of it. And I'll put it on my YouTube page. You can follow me, my contact information, again, at Raheel the Speaker on Instagram, Facebook, Raheel Siddiqui, Snapchat, Raheel the second, number 2 ND, same thing on Twitter as well. And I'm going to be more active on those social media accounts too. But much love. Thank you guys. And I will talk to you guys soon. All right. Peace out.